Well, good morning. I finally got round to doing the video about my chickpea and how I prepare it. I source my chickpea from Tesco's and Morrison's, places like that. All the superstores do them. I think a bag of chickpea, what I paid the other day, was £1.35, and at that price, you know, it's great. I know you can buy it in tins, but you can prepare your chickpea on how you want it, and how I do mine. I put it in with hemp. The way I do mine is I use 2 pints of hemp, and I put my dried chickpea in a sock. You can even use carp boilies bags, not bags, the air bags, you can use them, and a sock, a bit of stocking, and yeah, that's how I do mine. I don't use it all, I don't use the whole bag, I use about half a bag, maybe less, because you know with chickpea it all swells up, and whatever you do you get double the amount that you put in, it all swells up. Yeah, so I leave that for 24 hours. I left mine a little bit less. I did mine for 18. It was swelling up enough, and I was, you know, happy enough to take it at 18 hours. So yeah, I boiled it with the hemp for a good hour, and it swelled up lovely in the sock. And yeah, so after the preparation side of it, what I ask you to do now is to keep the hemp water. So what you do, you tip some in, you keep some in your chickpeas that you've boiled, but then you get a tin of chickpea and you tip the old water into the chickpeas, into the tin chickpeas. So then they take on the hemp water. And what I will show you here, this is chickpea from a tin. And this is chickpea with hemp. Now, I think you can see the difference in the colours, where the chickpea with the hemp has taken on the colour. So that's taken on the colour and the smell and the taste, of course. But yes, that's why I do it. But yeah, lovely. And what I should do is talk about how I pre-bait as well with chickpea. I pick a place down the canal, an area of a canal that I want to fish, and I don't just go to a certain area and think, you know, they're going to be there. What I do, I go with I take my landing net pole with me, and as I'm walking, see, when I fish for carp, I never fish the other side on the canal. I always fish the inside. There's a lot of reasons why I do that. One of them, the barges are normally that side, and all the food that the barges normally, you know, what they don't eat overnight or whatever, they throw into the canal. The other one is, when matchmen are down there, when the end of the day comes, where do they throw their bait? Down the side. So one more other reason as well. Normally when I'm carp fishing, I'm going into dark, and the last thing you want at night is a barge to come through right at the last minute and you're over the other side. It don't matter if you're down the inside, because a barge can come along, you don't have to wind in. This, you know, it won't disturb you in any way. So there's 3 good reasons why I fish the near side. And the reason I take the landing net pole is because as I'm walking down the section of canal which I think has got good carp in it, I pole it down the side. And what I'm looking for is not just clay, I'm looking for just a bit of gravel, something that will hold the hook presentation. Rather than sinking in, you can plod along, you will find it. Obviously you're tight up against the side, but you will find something that will hold your rig, because 9 times out of 10, if you're in a too soft, it will just sink into the bottom. So that's why I take the pole with me. And when you've found your spot, obviously you put a few chickpeas around it with your sweet corn, but then I walk back the other way from the spot, and as I'm walking I'm just dropping chickpeas in, walking, just dropping it in. So what am I doing? If the fish could be, I don't know, 100 yards, 50 yards up, but what they start to do is find, as they're coming along the side, they're finding chickpeas, 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 chickpeas. And you can do this for about a week, and obviously, and then they come to your spot and they stay, and they start looking around and they start picking them all up. Now I do that both sides of the feed that I put in. I do fish with 2 rods, but I do it with both sides. So I go 50 yards the other side, dropping it, dropping it, dropping it, dropping it. And obviously, when you found your little spot on the canal, you know, you'll find that you'll see a tree opposite, you'll see a tree behind you where you know where your mark is. I've even put little sticks on the side of the canal, so when I walk back the next day, I know exactly where I am. Put a little bit of bait in. And what I try and do is feed it the same time as what I'm going to fish. So if you're down there of an evening, blah blah blah, if you can get down there at 8 o'clock at night, try and feed it at 8 o'clock at night. Because if you start messing around different times, it'll be different times they come and look for their feed. But 9 times out of 10, because of the darkness in the water at that time, they've started to come into the sides anyway and started to feed. So yeah, what I will do, I'll stick a rig up in this and show you what I use. I'd use lead core just to keep it down on the bottom. I use a tiny ounce weight, and I'll show you the bottom rig. It's a little curved hook, but I tie it on with a ring. I've even started using them screw ones now, but I normally tie it on a ring with a bit of a pop-up sweet corn on the top. So as it lays on the top, it will lay on top of your hook and it'll pop up. So not too much, but it would, the sweet corn would be on top, and I do it that way. But I do use about a 4-inch rig because they can get a bit grubby. So what you want to do, as soon as they pick it up, they're hooked, and obviously you'll know straight away. If you give them too much and they're grubbing around, they could take your rig with it. But if a 4-inch at the bottom, you know, with the hook on it, that'll sort it out. That'll stop all that grubbing around. But it's a deadly way to fish down the canal. I've been playing fish, and where I hopefully gonna fish when we get back. While I'm playing one, I've seen a tail of one out of the water where the bait is. So once I get munchy on it, these are almost as good as tiger nuts. So yeah, I'm hoping that the preparation you use. See, I like to work at what I do. Back a few years ago, I caught a 30-pound common from a fishery, and I don't really talk about it because fishery fish, you go there and you put a boilie on and you cast out. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. You need to work at what you do, and when you get it, you've worked hard to get it. You haven't just gone to the shop, bought a pack of boilies and just thrown it in and hope for the best. You've worked at it, you've been there preparing it for a week, and when you get a fish, you've earned that fish. It might be £8, or it might be £19, but you've worked at it. You haven't just gone to the shop, like I say, and bought a pack of boilies. Yeah, so hopefully you put that into your fishing, and hopefully I can go to the canal. I will take the camera with me when we first start. I don't know if I'll be able to get to pre-bait it before we get going, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. That's my preparation for my chickpea. So see you soon, and tight lines.